Okay, I did put my hair back in clips because oh my goodness. And I am wearing like a vintage little suit. So the zipper's like kind of awkward. So we're just gonna leave it at that. If you can hear me like sitting on the zipper, that's what that is. But nevertheless, let's get into it today, you guys. Our subject is going to be about capitalism. Capitalism in your personal life. And I feel like today's society needs to hear it. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me, but that's cool. You do you, boo, finding that happiness in every single thing that you do and how to capitalize from it in a positive way, not in a greedy, etc., etc. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Capitalism in your personal life. All right. So we have dabbled into it a little bit with the marriage concept, and I told you guys I would film another video specifying how to look at marriage and relationships, how they are, and the reality that it is, and it is a business. And in everything you do, you should see it that way. And this is how to prevent yourself from being hurt. I feel like a lot of people just pour their hearts and don't benefit from it, don't take from it in anything, and they're just always hurt and left disappointed. So I decided that I would think on it a little bit and give you guys the breakdown of it all. All right. So I want to give you guys a pure example of working. So let's say you're an independent contractor. You're an independent contractor. Would you get up and go to work if you weren't making a dime off that contract? You going to work, would you go to work and you're not benefiting from it financially? When you go to work and you are stressed out and overwhelmed, and although you may be getting paid, the stress is not worth the money, correct? So that is how you need to look at it in your relationships. Would you go into a relationship with a man being a woman where you were not taken care of? Would you be in a relationship if you were stressed out all the time and if you were having to worry financially all the time? Would you go into a relationship like that? Doing that? No, you wouldn't. So, this is how you avoid being hurt 24/7. Everything you must benefit. Every way. Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, in everything you do. Career, personal life, love life. You must be benefiting from it in every perspective. So we were talking about on my TikTok live, and a lot of the people who watch my lives, they're from the shows that I was on. They supported us, and a lot of them a year and a half. And for the shows that ran on before I even got hired, a lot of the girls in California, I call them Wig Fam members, as my Wig Fam members, they supported those girls out in California before, like, it was even a thing in Texas, before the Texas studios got built out here. So, in that situation, a lot of people were saying, you know, oh my gosh, that must have been completely devastating to see that your shows were canceled and they didn't really give you answers and they didn't give you time to do this, they didn't give you time to do that. So this is where I corrected, and this is where you really have to speak for yourself here. So in that scenario, I went into doing that show and telling myself that I wanted to be able to build that type of stamina, to be able to perform at that high of an energy live with nothing edited every single day, some days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week. And I wanted to build that stamina for the better of my career. So I looked at it as if I was learning in every way possible that you can from an actor's point of view. Now, this is something that the show did for me. It trained me. It built me financially. It built me emotionally, mentally, physically. In every single way, I was able to perform on a live show every single day, no matter what I was going through, no matter the breakup, no matter the blood, sweat, and tears I put into that. I went back live on those shows 3 days after I had wisdom teeth surgery. And those of you who had wisdom teeth surgery, you know that the pain doesn't even start until the third, fourth, or fifth day. So I was on those shows in literal pain, and you had no idea. That was what I wanted to achieve on those shows. The training I had, my memorization now is like to the max now. Now maybe as far as like long scripts is something I have to like retouch up on, but if you give it to me like really, really quickly before we're filming scenes, I'll be able to knock them out and achieve them. Because on those shows, you have to memorize everything. Will be in your auditions. They give you pamphlets like scripts, and they highlight everything that you must know on top of you being able to sell yourself. If you can't sell yourself, you can't sell a show, you can't sell a product, you can't sell anything. So I knew, and I thought my first run with them, because I was on a pilot, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not the best right now. But if I continue to take advantage of this opportunity for my career, this will benefit me in every way, shape, or form. Of course, there were times where I was like, oh my God, this is just a lot. And it really is. Anybody who's ever done news anchoring, anybody who's ever been on a TV show, a live show, movies that have films for years at a time, you understand the amount of pressure and stress that it is on a human being. Now, this is where you kind of lay off that stress. You open your heart in a vulnerable way to be able to achieve that character, whatever the character is. So you open up your heart vulnerably to achieve that character, which exits all of the pressure and numbers and all the stuff you have to do, the memorizing and everything. And then that's where you make the character and you become it. And so everything else drowns. So those things are not a distraction anymore. Sorry, my hair. Those things are not necessarily a distraction. Now, there is still some sort of stress because you, as the human being, you want to make sure that you do your best. And that is how I looked at those shows. I was getting paid to train. I was getting filming experience. Just, you can't train. You can't train to do that. Now, you can train as much as an actor, as much as possible, but if you aren't getting the experience, the training did nothing. It's like when I tell you guys, those of you who say that education is everything, this is where I tell you, those of you who've had experience, like people like me who are 27, who've worked for 21 years, are going to knock those people out who had everything handed to them and like went to school. Yeah, they did sports, whatever, but there's no work ethic. I mean, sure, playing sports can build you up in certain ways, but if you're not applying that to the rest of your life, good luck. So that's how I saw everything, and that's how I see everything. I see relationships, and I make sure that if I am seeing a man or I'm dating a man or we are, I have not ever like really been engaged, but I have had rings put on my finger before from my relationships. And I made sure, okay, I'm in this relationship because I am being pursued how I want to be pursued. My feelings are valid. All right. He pays attention to me. Even when I say little things like, oh, I love flowers. I'm never asking him for flowers, but yet he'll bring me flowers the next time he sees me or have them delivered to my house or whatever it is. Okay. And in return, I'm making sure that I am giving back to him, because the last thing I would want is for him to be in a situation with me where he is not benefiting. And this is where a lot of women are getting it wrong here, is where you just want to benefit, and then you're wondering why the man is resenting you in the end, or starts to resent you, or just resents women in general, because you are only thinking about yourself. This is not a greedy um advantage. This is not a greedy advantage. You need to make sure that your man is receiving what he needs. The man has needs, especially if you guys have known each other for a long time, you're seeing each other, things are getting serious and stuff like that. There are things as a woman you need to be doing to make sure he's taken care of. So how can you want the king to take care of the queen when the queen's not doing her job to begin with? We create the atmosphere. Makes zero sense. And a lot of the men who watch my stuff, you guys are going to agree. I'm sure at some point you poured everything into a woman. You financially provided for her. You helped her when she needed her tire changed. You helped her when she locked her keys in her car. Gave her money to get her nails done. You made sure she was heard and she was valued, and you gave her flowers, and you listened to when she said she thought she wanted this or wanted that. Not that she was asking for it, but she just thought it and said it. And then you went and you made that a reality for her. And then in the end, you weren't receiving that back. That is where you find out that the woman or the person that you are in this relationship with, whether it's working, personal, love life, mom and dad, it doesn't matter. This is where you find out who the person you're working with really is. If they don't care about you, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. It's just like when you work for an employer, right? And you're a great employee, or you're a great executive, and you're constantly being shut down by your boss and telling you, like, be quiet, like, don't, your ideas, whatever, like, I'm not even going to consider them. But yet, and you're in such this high position to make executive decisions, and you can't even do it. So why on earth would you stay? Why would you be in a place where you're not benefiting from it? You're not being able to be fulfilled in every way possible within your knowledge, your, obviously your mental ability, your physical ability, depending on what you do for a living. Emotionally, everything is not being, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's just business. This is all just business. But emotionally, if you're not happy, you're not benefiting correctly at all. So get out. I get it. We're in a world where society and companies say we don't care about our employees. In those scenarios, those are called greedy advantagers. Those people are taking advantage of you, and that's where you leave. That's where you exit. That's why I left corporate, because I was being taken advantage of in so many ways. And then when my ideas were brought to the table, and we were seconds away from making these amazing things happen, and they got shut down, or my boss didn't even show up, I was like, oh no. If I'm going to go all this way, I'm going to go all this way for me. And it's going to be for my career. And I'm going to have a team, and my team is going to benefit as well. So my team, they gain financially, mentally. They know that they can trust me. They know that I'm going to make them look good, and as much as possible, no matter the scenario, no matter what project we sign to, they know they're going to get out of it something that benefits them. And I want everybody around me to feel like they are taking advantage of the good opportunities that are coming mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. So in your marriage, when you're in your marriage and you're not benefiting physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, why are you there? Why? And I'm not talking about like the man giving you money or the woman giving you money. No. The marriage together is a unity, and the both of you have each other to give you guys that to take off that load, the load that a man can't hold, which is the atmosphere, the house. It's our job as a woman to make the atmosphere, and it's the man's job to provide and protect. And when you're able to create that cycle and it's healthy and it's good, then you too can go out there and achieve your career goals. Therefore, you apply that into your career. You are taking advantage in a good way of your relationship. There should be physical actions. There should be emotional attachments in your relationship. Okay? There should be financial benefits in your relationship. Yes, in every way, shape, or form. This is where people get hurt. They go into relationships, they go into business, they go into work thinking, I'm just going to put my heart out there and that's what's going to happen. That's how you get hurt. You need to be taking from everything. Benefit from it. Benefit from it. My most recent relationship, a lot of you guys were saying, well, if that was a scenario, then how did you benefit? I'll tell you how I benefited. I sat there and I studied every business move these people made. I have notes and I have mental pictures in my head, and I know what to do, what not to do, who to be. They showed me exactly who I don't want to be to people. I want to be the most giving, so much that people tell me to stop. I gave so much to that family and I didn't receive an ounce back. But little did they know that I was still benefiting. I was gaining knowledge. It was better than going to school because I had the experience firsthand. It was a whole school. I learned from everything from on the road to the personal lives to the marriage. I was able to teach myself a lot of other things that I had no idea that I could do. I could reach certain altitudes. And just there are so many other things and intricacies in between it all that I took from. Now, a lot of people would look at that scenario and be like, that was just completely toxic, Daniela, which a lot of my family friends say that about that scenario, but I took from it. I take from everything. I'm learning, I'm studying, and it's such a positive thing. There are some people that speak, and literally when they pop up on my TikTok or they're on YouTube, or I see that they did an interview, everything down, play. Or I'll save it, make dinner or whatever it is. And like if I'm busy or what, I'll come back to it because I know what they have to say is something important and I want to learn. I want to take something from it. You should be benefiting from everything that you do. I was taught at a really young age that marriage is a business. And this was from my grandfather. With his marriage with my grandmother, he knew that he was going to have a good place at home because of the wife he chose, which was my grandmother. And in those times, my grandfather was born in the 1920s. In those times that they got married, my grandmother was really young, and she was a great wife. I mean, regardless of the title my grandfather gave her, that woman still did her job. Okay, she did her job. She cooked well for him, all the things that he wanted. She cleaned, she did all things, and he went out and he provided and gave her a beautiful lifestyle. But how does that happen? They both benefited from each other. She benefited from my grandfather's money financially, the lifestyle he provided for them. And he benefited from the fact that he was able to get kids, an amazing wife, and his atmosphere at home was at peace. She took care of all the home ground. So everything, it was her job to take care of the home. Now, she did work. She did go back to work and do all those other things, but she didn't really need to. She just wanted to have something for her own. Okay, be a smart lady, think smart, not hard. And when they divorced, my grandfather said, I will give you XYZ. We were married. I think they were married for like 30 years. He wasn't giving her alimony. Okay, but he made sure she benefited. He made sure she benefited financially from their marriage because she helped him achieve those goals in his life. He wanted to reward her and say, look, you can have this properties. I'll pay off your cars. I'll do this. I'll do that. You'll be set financially. If you need anything, just let me know. I'll get mad all y'all want. Men, sound off. Please sound off. Sound off in YouTube. Please sound off in the comments. Let me know. Because a lot of you are not man enough to do that. You'll go off and marry a woman and be with her for 15, 20, 25 years, and the woman was there before you even had the dang company, and then you want her to, oh, she's not in this marriage no more, so she needs to just go. But yet she gave you kids. But yet most of these women were good wives. They cooked for you. They fulfilled your manly needs. They took care of the house. Now, if the wife never did any of that, then that was your fault as the man. You should have made sure that you were going to be benefiting from your marriage the way she was going to too, so you two can be happy and create a happy unit. Because at the end of the day, this is a business. And if you are not benefiting from it, you will never be happy. A lot of what I'm saying here is not new news. This has been for forever. We have just come into a society that all of that shadows. And then we have those greedy people who take advantage and they're all for themselves. And then, you don't know how to separate the difference between the two. You should want your wife, as a man, you should want your wife to want better for herself. If she doesn't want better for herself, then she is not intelligent. Just like for me as a woman, I only want a man who wants better for himself, who wants me as his wife because he knows I am wife material, and I will do the things that he will need, that he won't even ever have to ask me for. And he will be able to benefit from that, and it will make him a better businessman because the house is taken care of. His needs are taken care of. I gift him. I think of him. When I'm at the store and I'm shopping and I see something, I think of him. He knows he's being thought of. He knows he's being cared about. When he comes home from work and he's been in the sun all day or whatever it is, meetings all day or making, big business negotiations and having to deal with all of that and coming home after, 12, 16-hour, 18-hour work days, he comes home, he knows there's going to be food on the table. He knows there's going to be a shower ready for him with his clothes. He knows he's going to lay down and I'm going to rub his head, relax him, ask him how his day was, and do all those things because he should be benefiting from me. He should be taking from me. That is how it works. If you're not taking from your marriage, if he's not taking from your marriage, then you've got it all wrong. And good luck, because it's not good luck being married. You're going to divorce. We hear this all the time. I wasn't happy. Why? Why? Because you weren't being fulfilled in every way, shape, and form. That's why you weren't happy. Yes, you should be holding that standard up to your husband. Hey, I like this. I like that. You want this from me, then you better do that. And it's both ways. It goes both ways. From your kids. Your kids are part of your legacy. They are a representative of you and your husband. If they're out there acting a dang fool up in them streets, that is a reflection of you. That is a reflection of your poor parenting. That is a reflection of your poor decision making. It's all a business. You are able to write them off on taxes. Now you want them to go off and do well for themselves, so when you're gone, they can do that and continue the name. Once upon a time, I heard, I don't care. I don't care about legacy. Well, then you're wasting your life. You're wasting. And there are some people in the hospital right now wishing that they can be in your position. There are people across the world right now wishing that they had the opportunities that you had. Don't waste it. Take advantage of everything. You should be benefiting from your kids. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. You should feel proud from your kids. If you don't feel proud, you did it wrong. You did it wrong. If you don't feel proud from your ex-wife or your ex-husband or your current marriage or your current relationship, you did it wrong. You should be benefiting from it. Everything. You should be benefiting from your home, your car, your job. Why would you go to work if you're not benefiting in every way, shape, or form? Yeah, sure, you make money, but if you're not happy, well, then it's not worth it. You're not benefiting. Incorrect. Incorrect. You're in a marriage, you're not happy. But yet maybe things are taken care of. Incorrect. Incorrect. Correct it. Fix it. And your kids, if you have kids, if you do not feel proud and they're out there acting it ain't full up in them streets, incorrect. Incorrect. Line yourself and work on it all the time. All the time. You should want better for yourself. You should want to be a better version for your partner, for your career, for your kids, and for your belief system. Especially the people who supported you. How dare you be less than? How dare you be less than when people put money behind you and believed in you? How dare you? That is so disrespectful. And from the same person that said I don't care about legacy said, "Oh, well your family's dead. Like why would you even want to why would you even care like live your own life? Cuz that's disrespectful to my family's name." My grandfather and his family crossed that border for a better life, fought for this nation. Fought for this nation to become citizens. And he took advantage of every opportunity he could. Every opportunity that he could. He knew he had a sacrifice. He knew he had a risk. So he raised up his hand and said, I volunteer. I am not an American citizen, but I volunteer to fight for World War II. And so did his brothers. Okay? And then on top of that, he took advantage of all those benefits, but he gave his life and sacrificed and said, okay, it's my turn. Became a professional athlete, bought land, built his empire, did this, did that, XYZ, XYZ. Why on earth are you not benefiting that way? How dare I continue my life and not do the same or do better? Why? What a waste. Yeah, my grandfather was not a mega famous professional athlete. But his fans, the people who knew who he was, they're looking at me and they're watching the moves that I make and the things that I do. How dare I make him look bad? That's embarrassing. That goes to show who you are, the character that you have. You don't care about your own family and what they did for you in the past and how they brought you here. That means then you won't care about nobody in your future. And I don't want to be around people like that. And that's part of that negativity that we have in today's society. The I don't care, the I don't care. And the lack of emotional intelligence, the lack of intelligence, the lack of the want to work, the drive to work, the want to be better. This is all work. All of this is work. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. Your trauma is work. Fighting your depression is work. Dealing with situations with your family is work. Having relationships is work. Going to work is work. Living is work. It's all work. But if you're unhappy, you're doing and pursuing the journey incorrectly. You must enjoy this journey. That is your vacation. If you are not, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And a lot of people have bashed my family saying, oh, y'all never went on family vacations. Y'all never enjoyed life. Our careers is our life. That is our happiness. When I'm not on this camera, I am not the happiest person in the world. Why do you think that now that I have TikTok live, I am going live streaming in the mornings and at nights? I was up 3 hours filming to like midnight, like 12:30 last night after filming 8 hours and meetings and this and that and emails and phone calls and all this XYZ and negotiations and blah, blah, blah. It makes me so happy. Like that is my happy place. This is my happy. This is my fulfilled. You can't buy this. You can't buy this on vacation. You can't get this. You can't buy happiness. You can't do it. So where do you find it? And making sure that you are fulfilled in every way, shape, and form possible. I encourage you to practice that. And I promise you, in the end, you will always be happy. And strive for that. Strive for happiness. Strive for peace and peace of mind and freedom. When you do all those things, you notice some of the most successful people in the world who did it the best way, because you know I don't believe in right or wrong, that did it in the best way are the happiest ones. Yep, there are some people that are incredibly successful financially and they are just lonely and miserable. Well, they did it wrong. They did it wrong. They were greedy. They were probably greedy. They probably took advantage of people. They probably screw people over and over and over and over and over again. And then they wonder why they're miserable. So take something from this. Practice it in your own life. Take a look at every relationship that you have. You should be giving to them and they should be giving back to you. Even if it's your parent, you should be wanting to give back to them. I would give anything. I would give anything to have my parents back alive right now so that they could see my career and I could give back to them, even though financially they would have not really needed me. But to give back to them, or to buy my dad another Harley Davidson, or to buy my mom her Mustang, like to be able to do those things, I would give anything to be able to have moments like that I'll never have. When I get married, there will not be father-daughter dances. There will not be any of that for me. So take advantage of the opportunities that you have. Love your parents, love your career, appreciate the things around you, be good to others, be kind, give to them, and hold them accountable when they're not doing the same. Life is too short, and take from this life because it's rented, and no one's promised tomorrow. No matter what your belief system is, no one's promised tomorrow, and that is a fact. And I know this might sound cheesy, but everybody does die. But not everybody lives. Be the one that's living, not floating through life just he, and wishing for the easiest way in and the easiest way out. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Don't be one of those people. Raise your kids to be strong, independent. Think as if you are no longer around. What will they do when you're gone? That's how I was raised. And now I'm without my family and I'm able to hold myself up in so many ways that most people in my position would drown. This is the real world of capitalism, gaining in every way, shape, or form. I want you guys to do better. I want you to be better than the one that was there before you. I want you in a better position than you were yesterday. That's why I share a lot of this. That's why I tell you guys a lot of my experience, I believe, is for you. And it's to help you. I've already gone through it. I've already experienced it. And there's so many other things for me to experience, of course. But, and these crazy ones that I've already experienced are meant for you. And so will the rest. But I love you guys so much. I'm so sorry for crying. My heart is in it. And that's how you can tell that I'm also benefiting from it physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and every single way, shape, or form from my life. And that's just how you can tell when your heart's in it. And so is everything else. I love you guys so much. Be good to one another. Be kind to one another. Love one another. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just let your girl know. And I hope to see you guys on my TikTok lives. It's so much fun. It gets serious and then it's not, and then we're laughing, and then it's, the lifelong beef and all those things. And we talk about all kinds of subjects. It's just a lot of fun. And you guys can see me in real action, unedited, without a mic, and sometimes with makeup, no makeup, doing my makeup, all dressed up for filming or not. But yeah, I hope to see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Benefit from this. Take from my channel. Please, please. I want you to better your life. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time.